good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Welcome along to the ZLDR Recovery Hour. Friday evening here in the UK. Hello Amy, hello Carol. We've got 1 minute to go before we start. Alex is leading today. I think she's she's leading. And we've got, who have we got in the run? Bob de Boer is with us. Javi is with us. Hello Javi. Jeff Olsen is there. Paul Hayward has joined. Anthony Anderson is there. Stefan Larsen is there. Jenny is there. Couchy is there. CBeebies is there. Diana, Princess of Watopia, is there. Jeff Partridge has joined us as well. Hi, Jeff. Paul Hayward, good evening. Jeff, good evening. Carol says, it's impressive that you're ready with a minute to go. My wife wouldn't say so. With 10 minutes to go, she said, come on, shouldn't you be getting off the sofa and getting your running gear on? Right, I'm going very, very slow to start with. Just going to do 8 kph just for the first kilometre, just to warm my legs up. So away we go with the ZLDR Recovery Hour Friday evening. Go at your own pace, don't wait for me. I'm just going to go very slowly for the first kilometre and then I will speed up once my legs are moving. Hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good week so far. I've not actually done much running. I did a track session on Monday. I did the interval session on Zwift Wednesday workout. And then today, 3 days of running. Tomorrow I will do park run. And tomorrow is the big one. Tomorrow is my 250th. So, got to celebrate it tomorrow. We'll be in Worthing. We're not travelling anywhere. So 250 park runs when I do tomorrow's park run. So that's good. And then it's another 250 park runs before I get the next t-shirt after that. So it's a long, long way to go after tomorrow, before the next park run t-shirt. So I've got to make the most of tomorrow because it's going to be many, many years before I get another t-shirt. At least 5 years. Probably more, because I'm not, in fact, definitely more. At least 6 years, probably 10 years. So yeah, I'm not going to hit 500 park runs until I'm probably 64. Amy says she's been running outside. Finally made the decision that I don't like it. Took you long enough. Come on, Amy. Have you not signed up for Beachy Head Marathon yet? I haven't signed up for Beachy Head Marathon yet, but I am going to do it. Don't worry, I will be signing up. So if anyone else is coming to do Beachy Head Marathon on the south coast of the UK in about 3 weeks, then you will see me there. Victoria says, happy Friday, everyone. Tina says, I noticed you'd hardly run this week. I think I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm not running on the treadmill quite so much. And I've decided, so I am starting marathon training. I'm starting it early, but I'm going to start proper from November. But I've now started my track sessions. So I've done one track session so far. So every Monday I'll be doing track session. And every Wednesday we'll be doing Wednesday workout. And every Saturday we'll be doing park run. So that's going to be 3 fast sessions every week. You know, give or take. 3 fast sessions every week. Tini says, just lazy. Leafon has got his mailman job. Well done, Leafon. Good work. So yeah, so then once we get into November, I will start adding in some longer outdoor running. And we'll see how we progress. Hopefully, I've had my flu jab. Hopefully, after Christmas, we won't have a house full of sick people. Somebody says, are you taking it easy tonight? I'm taking it easy for the first kilometre. I don't know if that's directed at me or not. Anthony, is it Anthony saying, am I taking it easy? Just for 1 kilometre, I'm just going to go at 8 and then I'm going to speed up to 9. After this kilometre, I'm going to speed up to 9. So about 400 metres, not long. And then I'm going to stay at 9 all the way to the end. Might speed up in the last kilometre. We'll see. Jeff Partridge says he's not old enough to have a flu jab. I don't believe you. Look, I had to pay for mine. I didn't get it free on the NHS. I'm not old enough to have a free flu jab. I had to pay for it. Hi, Bob. Bob de Boer says, Mr. C in the house. Leafon, no, I'm not going to be live streaming my outdoor runs, no. I will probably film some of them and, you know, put them on my other channel. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right, Victoria just wants to make it clear that she paid for my flu jab, not me. Look. We're married. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. We are essentially one. So when I say I paid for my flu jab, what I mean is, you know, as one entity, you and I are essentially the same person. We've been married for 15 years. 13 years. We've been married for some time. I don't exactly know how long. But, nevertheless, we are essentially one person. Carol says Cousins is a guinea pig. Jeff says he was always special. Special. Hello, Joshua. Joshua is very concerned that we're not talking about pie. Well, listen, I've got to have a proper meal tonight because the last 2 nights. So, Wednesday evening, we had curry, takeaway. Oh, that's 1 kilometre. I'm speeding up to 9 now. 9 kph now, and I'll stick there for for the rest of the run, pretty much. Yeah, Wednesday night we had curry. Thursday night we had pizza. So we really haven't eaten very well. So I can't talk about pie because that's just another fat-inducing consumable that I should steer well clear of. Oh, pecan pie though. Joshua, come on, man. Carol Rushworth says, Victoria pays for everything, cooks everything, looks after all the kids' needs. Yeah, and basically does yeah, you're right, Carol. Victoria basically does everything. I provide the emotional support in the family. Actually, no, Victoria does that as well, to be fair. No, my daughter does that. Jeff says curry can be healthy, but not necessarily if it's a takeaway. Yeah, no, this curry definitely was not healthy. It was a chicken vindaloo. You know me and chicken vindaloo. Did we talk about pie on Wednesday? Carol says we talked about pies and bellies on Wednesday. Okay. Well, at least we did a hard workout on Wednesday, though. Today's just a nice, easy, relaxed run. Okay. Joshua said he had salad for lunch, so it's all about the pies now. I get that. I understand. That's fair enough. We'll allow that. Yes, Leafon, if you do ever take over the channel, then it is obligatory to show Zwift, because this is the Zwift Run channel. So we are running on Zwift, and the whole point of the channel is to highlight Zwift and to show how awesome it is as a training tool. So people can make their treadmill running a little bit more interesting by joining in these group runs on Zwift, chatting to people all over the world, and just making your treadmill run just marginally more entertaining. Harold likes the 10-year-old Zwift roads and the colourful way they've painted them for this celebration of Zwift being 10 years old. Yeah, and I think my first run on Zwift, or my first time on Zwift was either February or March 2015. So about 4 or 5. No, hang on, where are we now? October, November, December. About 4 months until I celebrate my 10-year anniversary on Zwift. Hello, Laurie. She says, hope you're having a good run. She's going to be running later today, of course. In Laurie world, it is currently only about 9 o'clock in the morning. So, or maybe nearer 10, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning over in Washington. So, good morning, Laurie. I hope you have a good day. She's going to run later on. Joshua is planning on running later on as well. He says it's only 12:40 here in the USA. I will run after work. So, yeah, so here in the UK, it's 5:42 p.m. So wherever Joshua is, he's 5 hours behind. So he'll be on the East Coast somewhere, and Laurie is on the West Coast in Washington. There you go. Laurie says it's 9:40 a.m. Chilly and pouring down with rain currently, but it's supposed to be nice later. Jeff Partridge says, I came across the live stream of our Zwift 100 miler yesterday from back in 2020. He says, man, you look so much younger and skinnier. What do you mean skinnier? I'm probably about the same weight, aren't I, as I was back then? Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, 4 years ago now, gosh. 4.5 years ago. No. I can't remember when it was. Was it March sometime? Maybe it is near 4.5 years ago, yeah. Joshua is in Virginia. Same as Marcus. Marcus Holmes is from Richmond, Virginia. Joshua, do you know you share the same state as the person on Zwift who has run more miles than anyone else on Zwift? Marcus Holmes from Richmond, Virginia. Tina says, we've aged him. You have it. It is all your fault. You've all aged me. I didn't have any grey hair when I first started streaming live on Zwift. No grey hair at all. Now there are 1 or 2 small grey hairs appearing. Just 1 or 2. But I've definitely seen 1 or 2 grey hairs. Now I remember this. Tina says, in Stephen's defence, he is skinnier in real life. And I remember you telling me that, and I find that weird. So I look fatter, apparently, on camera than I do in real life. Although Jeff Partridge doesn't agree. He says he wasn't the last time I saw him, Tina. Paul Deering is trying to watch whilst running a large Morrison's. I may have to broadcast you over the tannoy as customers keep bothering me. Paul Deering, are you managing the store tonight? Is that what you're doing? Paul Deering is a manager, or at least has some level of responsibility at a large Morrison's store. And he's choosing to watch this rather than do any actual work. I totally get you. I mean, who would want to miss this to work in Morrison's? I'm totally with you. Joshua says, I live about an hour from Richmond. I cycle down there. I do my century bike rides there. Nice one. My treadmill is squeaking like buggery tonight. It's so loud. I'm glad I've got the noise reduction on the microphone, because if you could hear it, it's really loud. Tina Beard says, with me talking about Paul Deering trying to get out of doing any actual work at Morrison's. Tina says, and yeah, of course, Stephen, you are the authority on actual work. Tina, even less so now. Even less so. Leafon reckons there is a 6-pack under the orange vest. Yes, there absolutely is. I mean, I won't show it to you now, but there is a 6-pack under there, definitely. Jeff Partridge, always the one with the latest ultra running news. He says Courtney Dauwalter is currently doing well at the Nice 100. Côte d'Azur, UTMB Nice 100, live streaming now if you want to watch Courtney Dauwalter running in Nice. Okay, talking about six-packs, because I do have a six-pack under my vest. Carol reckons it's a six-pack of mince pies. Jeff says, I tend to keep my six-pack of beer in the fridge, not under my vest. Paul Hayward reckons that they should start stocking Noble Pro treadmills in Morrison's. Maybe that's a discussion we need to have, Paul, with Paul Deering. You have to knock the price of them down a bit, I think. 10 quid? 10 quid for a Noble Pro treadmill in Morrison's? They might sell. Hello. How are you? Now I've been knocked off my stride. This is a really squeaky treadmill. It's only just started squeaking today. It sometimes does this. It sometimes like squeaks a lot, and then after a little while, it'll kind of lubricate itself and be less squeaky. What are you? There you are. Look, if you look at that camera. Right, we are 2.8 kilometres in. We're just going nice and gently at 9 kph. Carol says, why have you sent him down here, Carol? I had no idea this was happening. Carol says, woohoo, Captain! Side by side? No, well, it's not on. I've got loads of stuff on the other treadmill at the moment. Go on. Hang on. Pull that out into it. Out of the way.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Phil Moron's special guest star this evening, Miss Hope. No. Hold on. Checklist first. So, have you gone the wrong direction now?
No.
Technical issues?
No technical issues.
That's okay. I'm just not going to look down there. That's just an... How you...
Off the cable.
It's not a surprise that you have so many technical issues.
Right, is that what your airplane looks like? If you look at your feet when you're flying, is that what it looks like down there?
I would return to base and get the engineers to sort it right out.
Have you just landed at Brighton City Airport and got a taxi over here?
No. I'm on a course at Burgess Hill for a month. So I've set this up with Victoria. I don't get much time off, so today was a good opportunity.
Right, that's what. Right, I was a bit confused because I told you at the start, Victoria was very keen for me to get on the treadmill tonight. She kept saying, "You're streaming in half an hour. You need to get changed. Get yourself all." I mean, she's not normally quite that fastidious about me getting myself on the track. She knows I know what I can go when I like. I can sort myself out. I don't need Victoria to tell me when to get on the treadmill. But tonight she was really kind of keen, saying, "Are you going to get changed now? You're getting on the treadmill." Now I know why. Secretly arranged. Right, I need to catch up with messages. Okay, Paul Deering says, Mr. Cost, hey, how you doing, stranger? Do you know what? I don't know when the last time I saw you was. Years ago. Running show. Yeah, Leafon wants to know who this is. Right, so this chap here is long-time Zwifter, long-time friend, but although we haven't actually met that many times in person, Jonathan Cost, who is Carol Rushworth's better half. Taking my life in my hands there, but the thing is, Carol is a long way away, so she can't hit me. Carol says he's been gone a week and I miss him. Oh, so sweet. So Jonathan has been on a course not far from here. So clearly he has secretly communicated with Victoria and arranged to come down here.
She is so good at keeping secrets. That poker face is awesome. Just got to give a shout out to the AGMT. Is Amy with us tonight? No. But good evening, Paul. Hi, Tina. Diana. And Rolly, how you doing?
Oh, was she? Amy, are you still in the chat? Jonathan says hello. Well, now, the AGMT has actually fallen down. It was hung up there, but the string's just come off recently, so it is 20.7 degrees Celsius inside shed quarters and 46% humidity. And if you look behind me, this here, this sign that says shed quarters, 2 words, apparently. 2 words, I'm led to believe, shed quarters, was very kindly provided by Carol and Jonathan. Yes, that was her name Nikki? Nikki in America provided that, yeah. Yes. Tina says, you're looking very well, Jonathan. Lee Betts, hello Lee. She says, hi everyone, and hello Jonathan. Darren says, hey everyone. So what is this course that you're doing? Tell us about it. Will we be confused?
No, I've just waved goodbye to the airlines and I'm doing a much better job.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit of quite hush, but I'll tell you after.
You're not working with Jeff Partridge, are you?
There is a task, I believe, at some point to investigate South Gloucestershire, yes. To see whether it actually exists.
Okay. So actually, in fact, it might be that Jonathan is working on the opposite Secret Service side to Jeff Partridge, and there will be an investigation into South Gloucestershire because we only have Jeff Partridge's word for this, that South Gloucestershire even exists. So yeah, it may well be that Jonathan's new job is his primary project is to investigate the existence or not of South Gloucestershire. And Jeff says, I told you not to say anything, Jonathan. You can never trust a crab. What is a crab fat?
I have no idea. You can never trust a crab fat. That could be someone in the Navy, perhaps? No idea. No, Paul. No, none of that.
Well, now that he's here, you see, I'm quite keen to stop running and just stick him on the treadmill so I haven't run for 2 days, but Darren Van Deer says, one of the Zwift Runners originals, Mr. Cost. Yes. Yeah. Jonathan has been around. 2018, Carol and Jonathan started on Zwift. Yeah, 6 years. So, in fact, pretty much the start of when I started working for Zwift back in 2018. Amazing. Carol's decided she's going to run off now. She's running ahead of me. She says, oh no, she says, I'm running ahead of Stephen. Yeah, just ahead of me. She's not running away from me. Which, let's face it, most women do.
And she's not competitive in the slightest. Are you, Rolly?
It's not. So, Jonathan, are you interested in running in Brighton later in next year?
No, but I'll be supporting Carol.
Who is doing the marathon this time, of course. Yeah, she will.
Okay, so I pledge that if Carol Rushworth signs up for Brighton Marathon, I will also sign up.
You're not
there you
signed
go.
up?
No.
Because I wrote to Brighton Marathon asking if they would give us a free place and they haven't replied yet. So we're kind of holding out as long as possible to see if they give us a free place, and if not, then we'll have to buy one. Because, yes, doing the marathon, says Carol. Right, Carol says you captured it when you ran on your treadmill in the old shed, spilling coffee. What, your first run on Zwift? Yeah, Darren says March 2018, first run on Zwift. Wow. Must have been the first time you guys joined me.
What do you mean, Carol?
Joshua says, I've no idea how you run and talk so much. To be perfectly honest, neither have I, Joshua. Back in my late 20s, my cycling coach's wife would talk to me going up mountains all the time. Yeah. So you kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to talking and running at the same time. But I couldn't do it, if I was to go faster speeds. If you watched on a Wednesday, when we do Wednesday workout, I can't talk when I'm doing those fast intervals. So it is just getting used to going at whatever speed is comfortable for you. The right speed, the right pace for you to have a conversation. And that's what you should be doing in your training. Just to get vaguely serious for a minute. Not all of your running should be at breakneck speed where you're sweating and you can't talk. In fact, most of your running, 80% of your running, should be at this kind of conversational pace. New runners often make that mistake, basically. Just every time they go out, they're trying to beat the run that they did before. Carol says, back in 2018, we saw him on the YouTube, on the YouTube. That's such an old person's thing to say, on the YouTube. On the internet, on his old treadmill, and we were hooked. Oh my God. You and about 6 others. Darren says, beautiful journey. I owe Zwift so much. Hope to be back into full fitness soon again. Yes, Darren. And we will do a fast 5K or a 10K before Christmas with you again. I'm sure I'm missing loads of... Yeah, I've read that one.
Yeah, what Carol means is when you were in the old shed,
Yeah.
You were doing a marathon. I don't know whether it was your first one or whatever, but your coffee and everything, you just knocked everything off the shelf at the side of you, and that's it. We were hooked.
Okay. That's it, yeah. It was a bottle of Coke, and it was my very old treadmill. And I was doing that was the day I did the first ever marathon on Zwift. I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. And, towards the end, I was getting very tired, and I went to grab my Coke. I had a bottle of Coke on the side, and I just knocked it, and it went all over the treadmill. And for the last 10K of the run, I was basically running, sticking to the treadmill. Squeaky treadmill back then as well, Darren. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. do you know what? That's really sideswiped me. That you came in, Jonathan came in, sat on the sofa there, and said, "Don't mind me." And I had to look at him for 20 seconds and go, "Who the hell is that?" I was going, I know who that is, and then it clicked. That was weird. Well, I put the name to the face eventually. Well, and I haven't seen Jonathan in the flesh for 6 years, so it did take me a little while. Because, like, at first, I thought it was one of your work colleagues, and you'd kind of come to show them, you know, what I do. No, she never does that, but I just thought, you know. Right, Leafon says, why is he called Jonathan Cost? Is he on sale? Very good, Leafon. I think he is. I think Carol would like him to be on sale. Oh, no, actually, she wouldn't. She misses him. She wishes he was back home. Are you going to hold hands over the line, Victoria? Right, so Victoria and Carol are going to run Brighton Marathon with us together next year. If you want to come and join us, I know this is a bit of an in-chat here, but if you're watching this and you are new to Zwift or you don't know what this all is, welcome, hello. We are organising a Zwift get-together, which we have done for the past 3 years here on Zwift. Every spring, we do a marathon or another race. We've done Brighton a couple of times. We've done Paris a couple of times and Brighton. And we're going to do Brighton again next year. If you'd like to come along and join us, this is open to anyone, absolutely anyone who wants to. Just sign up for the Brighton Marathon or the Brighton 10K and come and run with us in April next year. April the 6th, I think it is the 10K or the marathon. Or if you don't want to do either of those, but you'd like to just come along, you can come and do park run with us on the Saturday morning before. So we'll have the whole weekend together. We'll go out for a meal on the Saturday night if you want to. You're welcome to join us for that as well. We'll run park run together on Saturday morning, and then everyone does their race on Sunday, either the marathon or the 10K. We did it this year. It was fantastic. Really enjoyed it, and we will do it again next year. Brighton IRL is April the 6th, 2025, Leafon. If you want to fly over, April the 6th, 2025, 10K, 5K, or the marathon. Jeff might come and do parkrun. That would be good. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Really be good to see you. I've got some other news as well. So, this has been up in the balance for quite some time, but it's now been confirmed. You know, every year we go to Cornwall in January, and I have been producing a live stream of the Arc of Attrition 100-mile race, and also comparing and being the master of ceremonies. So, a few months ago, the Arc of Attrition was bought by UTMB, huge ultra running, trail running organisation. So it was all up in the balance as to whether we would be working for UTMB, because they often like to bring in their own people. But I'm very happy to say that a couple of days ago I got a phone call and an email offering me the job of Master of Ceremonies at UTMB Arc of Attrition next year. So me and another team member, we're going to be covering the 100-miler, the 50-miler and the 25-mile races, the start line and the finish line. as Master of Ceremonies. There won't be a live stream this year, but maybe next year there will be a live stream. Paul Deering says, Jonathan, how are my flappy arms? He hasn't been checking. He hasn't been checking, Paul.
Correction, I have been checking. Oh, I have. And yeah, okay, they're not bad, Paul. Not bad. I'm monitoring them.
Don't get too close because I do absolutely stink. Laurie says, that's awesome news. Sad about the live stream though. Yeah, it was just a little bit late to set that up. But hopefully next year we will be able to set up a live stream. But this year, because UTMB, obviously UTMB are a huge organisation. They have certain broadcast standards that we would need to meet. And it's too late to set all that up now for next year's Arc of Attrition. But yeah, being the Master of Ceremonies will be fantastic. And, you know, I will be able to put on my CV that I've worked for UTMB. So that's cool. Yeah, Jeff says you need to do your research properly now. I know. Yeah, so I've been sent a big document called the UTMB Presenters Pack. And it lists a whole load of stuff that I need to research and a whole load of protocols that I need to follow to basically be brand aware for UTMB and deliver the kind of service that UTMB expect of their presenters. So yeah, I've got my work cut out. Need to be a little bit more professional in January than I would normally be. Darren says we need to organise huge Christmas and New Year runs. Stephen, yes, absolutely. We do. Carol's now calling me Mr. Tickle. Wow, look, where's the time gone? Only 20 minutes to go of the ZLDR recovery hour. The time has flown because we've suddenly been joined by Jonathan Cost, who is a long-time Zwift runner and has been on a course local to me and secretly arranged with my wife Victoria to come and say hello. So here he is. So he's sitting over there now chatting to Victoria. Tina says the UTMB thing sounds complicated. Good luck with that. Yes, Jeff, there won't be any of that. Paul Hayward says, how do the buttons compare to a cockpit? I think he's asking Jonathan what my Zwift buttons. I think they're not quite, probably not as many of them, and not quite as complicated as operating a 737. Well, what was your plane? What do you fly on? What's your? What do they call it? What equipment are you on?
Oh no, that's very American. Yeah, it was a 737.
That's right then.
You were a 737-800, but it's now a lot smaller, a lot more compact. Just two of us. It's called a King Air.
Propeller or jet?
It's a turboprop.
I have no idea what that means. That's propellers, yeah? Yeah, okay. At one point, my son Ellis was regularly on the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Jonathan was, about a couple of years ago, a bit of an inspiration for Ellis. Said Ellis wanted to be an airline pilot like Jonathan. I don't know if that's faded away these days or what. Occasionally he'll mention it, but yeah. At one point, you know how young boys go through all these fantasies about what they're going to be when they grow up, and rock star, professional footballer. And Ellis at one point was definitely sure that he wanted to train as an airline pilot. I think he was possibly put off when I told him it would probably cost about £200,000 for the training. Unless Jonathan can sneak him in somewhere. Right, this is actually a useful moment. Tell me how does somebody get into getting there? You get your private pilot's license, you pay about, $4,000 for that. Probably more these days. But then how do you then go from that, if you haven't been in the military, to getting your commercial pilot's license? Do you basically have to get a mortgage for about hundreds of thousands of pounds to pay for the training?
There are generally two options. You can get your private pilot's license, like you said, and then you become an instructor at a flying club, and you just train pilots, just build up your hours till you get to a certain level, and then you can go on to what they call a modular course, and you can get your commercial pilot's license with as little as about 250 hours, or you can pay £140,000 and just go straight in, and from no flying experience whatsoever, and pass out in about 18 months as an airline pilot.
Because I remember watching a program about EasyJet a few years ago, and they had these young lads on, 19 years old, flying these 737s, and it was a documentary series, and I thought, well, okay, they've either got very rich parents who are paying for them, or there's some way. How have they got onto that training course with EasyJet?
Very rich parents. That's the answer. The banker mum and dad.
Jeff Parcher says, Stephen, what are you going to do when you grow up? Literally haven't decided yet, Jonathan. Tina says, that ship has sailed, Jeff. Yeah. I am one of those people who... It's taken me many, many years to get anywhere close to doing something that I enjoy doing, and that feels like the right thing for me. Working in running is something that I'm really passionate about and I absolutely love. And like many of these things, I've kind of fallen into it. And there's, I've told all my children to think very hard about your work-life balance, doing a job that you love, and choosing, you've got to sometimes make a choice about doing a job that you love to have happiness in your life, or doing a job that earns you a shed load of money so you can retire early, despite the fact that you might not enjoy doing the job. And it's finding that balance, isn't it, between earning enough money to survive and to live comfortably, whilst still enjoying what you do. And it's hard work, I guess. Sometimes it's luck. And sometimes, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, or the way the cards fall, or whatever it is.
Have you tried music? Being a pop star, perhaps?
I don't think I've got the talent for it, to be honest, Jonathan. I mean, when I was a kid, I dreamed of being a pop star. I never really learned to play an instrument. To be honest, many people would say that is true. I never really learned to play an instrument or write songs, to be fair.
I'm not going to sing it.
and neither am I, Jonathan. Neither am I. Leafon says, if I decide to fly, I will need a whole 1 month's salary for a one-way journey. I'd rather invest in my PC. Yeah, even buying a ticket these days can be expensive, let alone learning to fly. I did. So when I was about 23, 24, I started my private pilot's license. But it really was so expensive, At the time, it was £110 a lesson. and then it was a £15 runway fee or something, landing fee, and every month it was just adding up, and I did probably about 6 lessons, and then just didn't do it anymore. And these days I'm too scared. I'm scared of flying, even though it's perfectly safe. Right, Joshua says, on the work-life balance thing, on the doing things that you love, Joshua says, I'm going for the shed loads of money option so I can retire early. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, plenty of people do, and they'll put up with a terrible job, or an awful job with lots of stress and long hours, because they're going to earn absolutely shed loads, and then they retire when they're 40. Paul Hayward, always one for the puns, says sky high prices to become a pilot. Absolutely. Jeff Parker says I've done both. I used to do a job that I love. Now I'm just building up the pension pot. Yeah. We have 10 minutes to go of the ZLDR recovery hour. I've noticed that Victoria hasn't offered Jonathan a drink yet. And also, because Jonathan's here, Victoria isn't cooking my dinner, which is another problem that we're going to have to deal with at some point very soon. Leafon says, I think the mailman job will be perfect for me as long as the dogs aren't aggressive. I don't like loud things capable of biting off my hand. That is a very good point, Leafon. Just be careful. Carol, I assume you knew about this. Carol says, apparently Jonathan wanted to either be a train driver or a pilot. I think he probably chose the better option. Now, because Jonathan arrived, and because I've been chatting on the YouTube chat, I've missed all of the chat in-game. So I don't know if anything interesting has happened on the in-game chat. But, if anyone has seen anything interesting, do let me know. Carol says, yes, she did know about it, and she found it really hard on Wednesday to not say anything. She says she's been giddy all day. I'm still in a bit of shock about it, to be honest. That was so weird. Tina says, did you see the photos of Marcus in Whistler? There actually was a bear. Yeah, so he messaged me. When he arrived in Whistler, he'd been there for about 3 hours. He said he'd already seen 2 bears. So yeah, there were definitely bears around. He took a photo of one of the bears that he saw. But on the run, he said he didn't see any bears on the run. But he did see what he thought was fresh bear poop. Well done, Bob. See you later. Apparently I've stopped speaking. I do that sometimes, Jonathan. No, I think it's the deck itself. It's got a crack in it. it's had a crack in it for about 3 years that I've fixed. And sometimes it squeaks more than others. So if I move to the back of the treadmill and run on the side, it doesn't make any noise. If I run in the middle at the front, so we're on the run path. We're just approaching 8 kilometres in to the ZLDR recovery hour. We've got about 6 minutes to go. We will be back next Wednesday. So a little while. Next Wednesday for the Workout Wednesday interval session. But before that, Clive Finnemore will be back on Tuesday with the Film My Run 500. I think I need to talk to Clive about exactly what hours he's doing next week, but I think he's doing the Film My Run 500 next Tuesday. So go and say hello to Clive, even if you're not running. Pop in and say hi to Clive. Tina says, I'll have forgotten who you are again by next Wednesday. Well, that reminds me of a film I watched last night. But now I can't remember the title of it. A brilliant film with Kate Winslet and oh, goodness me. Anyway, it's about a couple and one of them decides that she doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore. So she goes to a doctor who's offering this treatment where he can erase somebody from their memory. So she gets this treatment to erase her boyfriend from her memory. And the boyfriend comes in to where she works one day and says hi and stuff, and she completely blanks him and has no recollection of who he is at all, and the film moves on from there. Very good film. So basically, I mean, you know, is that what you're doing every Friday from now on? Is you're getting a treatment to erase me from your memory, Tina? Tortoise says, I think he's working both Tuesday and Thursday next week. Okay, so we'll have to see exactly what live stream he'll be doing then. Ah, right, okay, we've now learned Tortoise's real name is Noah. Harold says, I never knew your true name was Noah. Like Noah, that's such a nice name. We had Noah as one of the options when we were naming our son Ellis. Obviously, we went for Ellis, but Noah was in the equation. Just can't remember the name of that film. So thank you for running with me, Carol, Paul Hayward, Anthony Anderson's just a couple of minutes up. Kevin DeLuca has been running today. Jenny's been running today. Gotta Run has been running today as well. Augustson is a couple of minutes behind. And Alex, who's been leading the run, she is about 10 minutes back, taking it nice and easy. We have 2 minutes to go of the ZLDR recovery hour. Torta says, well done all. Carol says, good to have you back. So yeah, it's if you're not aware, it is 2 days a week from now on from me, and hopefully at least 1 day a week from Clive. I'm trying to convince Clive to do some evening live streaming as opposed to the Film My Run 500, which is during the day. So we'll see if we can get that organised. But yeah, do join Clive if you can the next time he live streams, and join me on Wednesday for the Wednesday workout next week. And you never know, we might even persuade Victoria to do a live stream at some point. I've been trying to convince her for years to do her own live stream. We did vaguely start a few years ago. We started the pot noodle run on a Sunday, which was supposed to be Victoria's live stream. Laurie says, have a great weekend, everyone. Nice chatting with you today. Thank you, Laurie. Dinner and Bob, Leafon says. Oh yeah, well, if I get no dinner, it will be noodles, Leafon. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Alex, for stepping in. Joshua says, great run. Jeff Partridge says, cheers, everybody. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you all next week for another live stream on the Zwift Run channel. Yeah, but from now on, 2 days a week for me. Do you know what? I may as well. I'm just going to run to 10k. Sorry, to 9k. Just do another 30 seconds just to get up to 9k. Victoria says, well done all. Tina says, have a fab 250th tomorrow. Yes, did I mention this? Yes, I did, right at the beginning. 250 park runs tomorrow. I'll be doing Worthing Park Run. So if anybody wants to join me, if anybody's in the area, come along to Worthing Park Run tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. I'll be celebrating my 250th park run. And we are just coming up to 9k for the evening. That is it. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. It's been a very entertaining chat on YouTube, and an even more entertaining evening inside Shed Quarters with the visit of the one and only Jonathan Cost. The one and only. Thank you for coming, Jonathan.
Well, I'll be here for a little while unless you kick me out.
Are you staying for dinner? Right, this depends on what's Victoria's cooking, doesn't it? Jonathan hesitates. I've just invited Jonathan for dinner, and you know he knows Victoria's cooking, and he's hesitated. What does that say? You see, I complain sometimes, but now you know it. An independent source, independent witness now verifies. You have to be careful with Victoria's cooking. You never know what's coming. You're very welcome to stay. Right. Thank you so much to Jonathan for appearing out of nowhere. Been very nice to see him. I haven't seen Jonathan in the flesh for about 6 years. So saw Carol this year at the Brighton Marathon, but yeah, Jonathan was working, so didn't get to see him. Right, Carol says, yeah, give him lots of pot noodle. Okay, I don't know if we've got pot noodle. Bombay Bad Boy, yeah, as we well know, is very healthy, don't we? From the Yucca app. Jeff Partridge says Bombay Bad Boys all around. Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, Jeff. Right, let's go. Tina says, lovely to see you, Jonathan. And yeah, take care, everybody. I will see you on Wednesday. Look out for Clive live streaming next week as well. And I will see you all next week. Take care. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.